therapeutics maybe be the unexpected, very effective key to treating new waves? Let's ask the guy who might know. He understands this treatment better than anyone else. CEO of Ovid Therapeutics, Dr. Jeremy Levin, is back with us again tonight. Dr. Levin, good to see you.
John, it's very good to see you indeed.
Vaccines are, no one disputes it, magnificent tools. But it's not clear they can keep up with these mutations that are happening. Are therapeutics better at that?
So, in fact, they have a different role in the therapeutic armamentarium. Vaccines, if widely applied, can crush a pandemic. The vaccine, the virus is given no place to go to mutate. But when you have a situation as we do today, where you have large pools of people who are untreated, the virus does what it does best. It infects people and it mutates, and then it spreads. And when that happens, you now need a different tool to fight them off. But they work in concert. That tool is you need both the vaccine and you need the medicine. I do believe that unless you have them both, it's going to be very tough in circumstances where you have so many people who are unvaccinated. It's going to be very tough to handle the pandemic. It will keep on mutating.
Get me smarter on therapeutics, because I don't think a lot of us have given much time or energy to understanding them. Are they less tailor-made? You know, maybe they're not mutation specific. Are they more generic? And usually generic is a bad thing. You go to the grocery store. But is it good to not be maybe so specific?
So the way these antivirals work is they target the mechanisms that we believe are critical to the virus replicating itself. And what they do is they go and they gum up the works so the virus cannot replicate. Now that is an important difference. It's not trying to build the body's immunity to a virus. It's asking the question, can I develop a payload, a medicine, something that you take by mouth that will go into the body, that will attack the virus in the body and stop it replicating or multiplying. Now there are certain parts of the virus which are essential to replicate. Viruses are creatures. They have, as you know, they've got a nucleic acid inside them. It's a machinery which allows them to replicate themselves. And what you want to do is you want to gum it up. What's important about that, Chance, is that there are certain parts of the system of replication that are conserved. In other words, they're kept. No matter what kind of virus you have, what variant of the virus, it's got the same mechanism inside it for replicating. So if you can target that mechanism, you can gum up the works and stop it working.
Are there some treatments that seem better than others? What's the most promising one in your opinion right now, Dr. Levin?
Well, I think we've seen solid data from both PFIZER and MERCK, but they're not alone. Okay, the data that you've seen indicates that the PFIZER oral medication is in fact more effective in patients after 5 days of treatment. This is taken at 5 days. But they are, from that of Merck, it's shown a very high response rate. But they're, as I say, they're not alone. Right behind them are companies like AUTHORIZATION, and that's a company which effectively is doing a very targeted approach, another targeted approach. And even AUTHORIZATION and the other companies are not alone. There are some 200 different approaches to this. So I do think that that's correct. There were none at the beginning of last year, none. So this is a remarkable plethora of these new medicines coming down the pike. But we do know that we have at least one, PFIZER, that's been highly effective. And I suspect coming out of the 200, we'll have many others that are going to be effective.
When it comes to therapeutics, is that going to be easier to work with, the global issue of supply? I guess prevention really isn't included in treatments, but we can very easily send a whole big vat of pills anywhere.
It's even more than that, John. You can actually manufacture pills. For example, just a rough figure, it's about $4 per 1,000 pills of any kind of pill to manufacture a pill in India. So you can, and it's very straightforward. Once you have the components, the plants are there, you can do it. This is very different from vaccines, where you have to be able to supply very highly trained people and put in place certain kind of refrigerators, etc. Pills are different. Pills can be manufactured, can be stored, can be transported, and easily so. So I suspect that these pills will get a very wide distribution. Just to be clear, though, in both Pfizer and Merck, these are not single pills. At this time, they each require twice a day multiple pills. So a little bit like HIV, in the beginning of HIV, where you had a handful of pills, has now been reduced to a single pill. You will see an evolution of the medicines down to a single pill. It's just a matter of time. So at the moment, the treatment is a little bit clunky, but it works. You will see a change in that over time to single pills. It has to happen, otherwise it's very difficult to manage. And I suspect, and that we are seeing evidence of this right now, the many countries around the world will want the right to manufacture those pills. And I suspect many of the large pharmaceutical companies will give them the right to do that.
Dr. Jeremy Levin, a global view of this topic, and also looking globally right now of what the pandemic is doing. CEO of Ovid Therapeutics, thank you.